The Wally Show podcast is our daily radio show heard live through the Way FM app each morning and hosted by Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. For more fun, be sure to connect with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. Things you didn't know you needed to know today. It's News-ish with Betty.
With the presidential election just around the corner, it's got people thinking, what's a campaign promise that would secure my vote? And some of the answers I found online are ridiculously hilarious, but also they make a lot of sense.
Okay, so this isn't about like lower taxes or anything.
No. This is nothing serious, but they do make sense. So I want to run them by you and see what you think, Wally. Okay, take for instance these few that people said if they would recommend this promise, I'm all in. First, allowing all to keep their shoes on at all TSA checkpoints.
Oh, yeah, that's a big campaign promise that I would love.
Right?
I had to get TSA pre just to keep my shoes on. Because if you have TSA pre, you can do that, but you have to jump through a bunch of hoops for the global entry.
Well, and two, don't you have to pay for it?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're paying to keep your shoes on.
It's America.
Yeah, that's America. I want to keep my shoes on. Another one, forcing TV shows to release all episodes at the same time. Now, I've heard Wally complain about this when it comes to TV shows. You get frustrated when they just release one at a time.
Because what happened is, like originally Netflix was letting you binge shows and everyone started binging it. And then one person somewhere in the world was like, hey, binging isn't healthy. And then all of a sudden everyone they went backwards. Netflix we're not going to do this. We don't want people to binge anymore. Really? No, what they realized was by releasing them once a week, they keep you in their subscription service longer. That's the whole motivation. They don't care about your mental health. They want to keep you subscribing because people would subscribe for a month, watch everything, and then bail.
See, it sounds like this is a promise you would be in on.
I 100% don't care. Democrat, Republican, Independent, don't care. Do this, make it happen. You got my vote.
And if you thought that he was that passionate about this one, well, wait for this one. Okay. Announcing the return of the dollar menu at fast food places.
Yes! Yes, sir, madam, you have my vote. Fast food has gotten way too expensive, and if you could have a good dollar menu again, remember the good old days? Back in my day, you could pull up to the drive-thru, and you could be out of the drive-thru for under $5. I ate for a year and a half working here for $3 at Wednesday's almost every day.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
No, that was a drink, a chicken sandwich, and their fries. $3. Maybe I'll run for president, and that'll be my whole pitch.
Right?
I'm like, okay, look, I know the economy's bad. I know there's inflation. I know there's a lot of stuff going on. There's wars. I know all of that stuff, but check it out. Dollar menus. That's what we're going to do. That's going to be the first thing I do when I walk into the office. I know. Maybe the people running now should take a note of this story.
We get gold stars when we master the material covered in class.
You're not hearing me, girl. I'm in charge now. And I say recess.
Yep, back to school is here, and some of your kids love school and they want to go back, and others, it's kind of a challenge. Hey, it's the Wally Show on Uplifting Way FM, and I am curious, as a parent, what results or what lengths you go to get results from your kids.
It seems like, Wally, you growing up as a child, this would have been a challenge for your parents to get you into school.
I never really enjoyed school when I was younger.
So did they bribe you with anything?
They did, but we were poor. So wasn't great bribes, hey, if you get an A, you get $1. And my mom would say that's probably what you're going to make for a week if you keep this up as an adult. So you might want to just do it for yourself. But we didn't have great bribes. I wish. I know my daughter, we bribed her way more than that. Not a ton, but
thinking back, I would think, oh, my parents didn't have to bribe me, but no, they did because I hated school. But I remember my parents would let me pick out my cereal. Okay, so it was kind of like something I could look forward to in the morning. So if I wanted Lucky Charms, fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Just get her the Lucky Charms if it'll get her up and get her in the car to go to school.
There it is. I know. My mom had a prize box filled with she colored it like a chest, like a treasure chest, and
so
she had it
cute.
hidden up on the second shelf in her closet. I found it.
Of course you did.
And so she had little dollar store prizes in there. And when we were a little kid,
Sweet.
like that was a big deal.
Yeah.
I didn't get many of them, but like
Go
when
figure.
I did, big day, big day.
Big day.
So I am curious though. What have you done so far already this year to bribe your kids to get them to either get good grades or get up to go to school, whatever it is regarding school? What does it set you back beyond just buying pencils and rulers and stuff? What's the bribe? Betty was doing a sticker chart for me and Gavin, and we were doing great. I got so many frowny face stickers. It was amazing.
Exactly. I started with good job stickers because I thought this would give you something to excel to,
Sure.
you know. But it ended up backfiring
Yep.
because he loved getting the frowny face stickers
They
more.
were so much more fun to
than
get.
the good job stickers. So out went the sticker chart.
I know. So it backfired on her. But what is yours with your kid? What is your bribe for your kids this year? I'm just curious where the bar is on this. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take yours now. What have you bribed your kids with this year?
We do Dunkin' Fridays, so if we get out of the house on time all week, we get to go to Dunkin' on the way to school on Friday.
I love that idea. You don't happen to be headed there now, do you? And like be near this studio where I am?
Nope, just Fridays.
Dadgummit, because I could use my signature drink. It's original blend iced coffee with 6 caramel, 6 liquid cane sugar, 6 cream, and sweet cold foam on the top. You should try that next
Wow.
time. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's like a candy bar.
It really is, and that's part of the problem. Like if my mom ever gave me that and then sent me off to a teacher, the teacher would have lost their mind. It's bad enough for Betty every
Yes.
day with me. That's a good one though, Susie. I love it. I like the
Yeah,
idea of
it
having the
works.
thing to look forward to at the end of the week, and it's fun for everyone. You get something too, which is great.
Exactly, yes. So we don't go overboard, but it's enough.
So what's yours?
When he tries to wake us up and we don't, he says if we wake up, he will give us candy. But now he can't really do it anymore because he got caught by Mom yesterday.
Ah, Mom's ruin everything. Candy for breakfast? How great is that? What's Mom offering?
She doesn't really offer anything, but
Nothing. Just get up and go to school, huh?
or she gives us love a lot though.
Oh, she gives you love. That's great.
Yeah.
Great.
Now, Kai, tell us the truth. Would you rather have the love or would you rather have the candy?
That's the trusty bear. Probably the love.
Really?
I don't believe you.
I don't believe that for a second. So, Sandy, how do you bribe your kids?
Well, I started initially really, really young and just reminding them that that was their job. I had to go to my job, they had to go to theirs. And so I offered them free room and board while they got good grades.
Oh, that's great. I like the idea of telling them, hey, this is your job. This is what you have to do. Haley, my daughter, when she was going to go to college, we were talking about her working and things like that to help pay for college. But as expensive as college is now, there's no way that she was going to ever be able to really make a dent in it.
Absolutely.
And we told her job was to do well in school and do well on the ACT, because if she got a certain number on the ACT, she could cut her tuition in half. And that's what she did. And so for me, I was like, good, you've done your job, and now Daddy's going to pay for the rest.
Absolutely. Well, my kids actually got the luxury of also getting to play sports, and they got to play sports in college. So their jobs were, good grades to get you into college, and you get to play sports, you get to play travel soccer, and that will help pay for your tuition. None of my kids had jobs. That was their goal, get your grades up, do well in your sports activities, and my daughter got full ride to Flagler College for
Nice.
soccer, and
Love
then got grad school at Palm Beach Atlantic.
Sandy, did one of your kids ever have to pay for room and board at some point?
No, I actually just had to threaten them. I do have one kid that did not want to go to school, and I started to take away luxuries. He got so many outfits a week to wear, and then he didn't want to go to school still. Okay, well, I'm going to take away your hair gel, your deodorant.
Not the deodorant, please.
Yeah. Why punish everyone? Betty's love of crime shows has me concerned because I think that she's not learning how to protect herself, but rather how to set me up for a crime.
Oh, I for sure am.
It's a Gone Girl situation is what I'm thinking.
I'm glad I've got you right where I want you.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. You need someone in your life that will set you up for success, not failure.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I felt with CCU. I mean, I felt intimidated considering going back to school as an adult after being out for so long, but I was set up for success with CCU from my first conversation all the way to graduation. Most classes are only 5 weeks long, which means you can earn your degree and still have time to do whatever you want.
Yeah, 5-week classes, that's even good for people with like ADHD. Like for me, I know I needed short classes so I could focus when I went back to school because Betty Rock and I kind of lived the same life.
Find out more about how you can pursue your passion and find your calling with Colorado Christian University at online.ccu.edu. Colorado Christian University is a nonprofit impact partner.
He's so positive. Positive, he's always right.
If I don't brag about myself,
It's news-ish.
who will?
With Wally.
No matter how great of a parent you are, there are going to be times when your kid gets away from you. My mom tells a story of being at like some Catholic church that we were visiting on vacation, like this famous place, and I was blowing out the novena candles, singing happy birthday to myself. And then I slipped under a rope and was pounding on some old chair and stuff.
All of that checks out.
Yeah, my dad ended up taking a rope out of the truck and tying it to my little suspenders. And he had another dad offer him money for that rope who also had a son. Like, he was way ahead of the curve of that leashing your kid thing. He should have patented that.
Right?
Well, there was a family on vacation at a museum in Israel, and a 4-year-old boy was curious about what might be inside of this old jar. So he tipped it over to see, and it ended up smashing onto the floor. Yeah, not good when you're in a museum. The problem was it was not a ball canning jar like we have now, the little ones.
Tip jar.
Yeah, exactly. It was a giant jar from the Bronze Age, about 3,500 years old.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it was really rare, too, because they find these jars a lot, but they're always broken.
Well, now this one is.
Exactly.
But why did they have it available? Like, they had it at his reach, in his reach, and it wasn't behind a glass case or anything like that. To me, that sounds like the museum's issue.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Right.
The museum actually believes, they said, in a special charm in experiencing archaeological finds without obstructions. So they do this on purpose, but I don't know if it'll... and it doesn't sound like they're going to change. They're like, this is a rare incident, and they're not going to change their policy on this. And so it is funny now, though, the jar looks like all the jars they've been finding. So it's like, okay, it's not that
Did they
big
have
of
to
a deal.
pay for that?
This is the really interesting thing. The museum was so cool with this family. They are going to have an expert restore the jar, and they've even invited the family back to see the jar when it is restored so that maybe they would feel better about it. Like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. Or send them a bill.
I hope the kid's like, oh, a new pot.
Oh, that would be so great.
Dang it.
We can't take you anywhere. Someone completely ruined my day yesterday, and you'll never guess who it was. Hey, it's the Wally Show on Uplifting Way FM. Turns out this guy just got into my world and said something, and I mean, I held it all day long, and it just ruined it.
Man, that's rough. Who was it?
It was me. I ruined my own day.
You're your own worst enemy.
I really am. Honestly, Rock, I'm starting to figure this stuff out. Like, so we did this Zoom call where everybody in the company gets together on Zoom. We do it every other week. And so they had asked me to talk about something from Support Drive. And so gladly, they just share a story. So instead of just sharing a story, because I could have done that, I pulled some audio. And then instead of just pulling the audio, I made a video. And instead of doing that, I did it all up. And I didn't just do lyrics, I did video behind it. So I spent a couple hours working on it. So we get up there, and it's my turn to deliver it. And then we have this technical issue. No one's fault. It's just something broke, and it happens. And I know this happens. And I should have literally just went, oh, okay, and rolled with it. And that happens, whatever. But I was so bent about spending the extra time to do it. And then when we have a technical problem, I'm like, I kind of said something like snide, I guess. I was like, well, snarky. Yeah. I'm like, well, there's 2 hours of work I'll never get back. And so anyway, and I just kind of regrouped, and then I went on to share everything, or whatever. But I was so disappointed in my reaction because I had a minute to think about it too. And I had a choice to make. do I just roll with it and just laugh about it and move on, or do I be snarky? And I chose snarky, which was the complete wrong choice. And I spent the rest of the day, I felt guilty about it, kind of embarrassed too. You're like, oh, you're just being a punk, you know, because it's not that big of a deal. And what really started to bother me was I made it about me and my frustration and not about the call. The whole point of that was how great this call was. Now, my heart was right because I wanted people to hear this because I thought it was really inspirational and I wanted to share this story, but it shifted focus when I got snarky about it, and it shifted focus to being about me and my issue and my problem and me whining, you know.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and it really did. Honest, truthful, it like ruined my day. I was supposed to do something fun in the afternoon. I did it for like a little bit, and I went home. I'm like, yeah, I just was missing something.
And you couldn't blame anybody for ruining your day except
Oh,
yourself.
no, I'm ruining this guy. Like, I am going to ruin this guy's career. You trust me.
I believe you.
Sadly, you're probably right.
This is a safe place. Feel free sharing our feelings.
Think you're a mess? What, I thought we were in the trust tree in the nest, are we not?
We are.
It's a confession session.
All right, so here we go. Confession session. I want to know a time that you were disappointed in yourself for your reaction. Because I know I'm not the only one that overreacts. I'm just good at it. But I know I'm not the only one. Okay?
Yeah, because there are things that will frustrate us, and we just act in the moment.
Yeah.
But then later on, you look back and you're like, I shouldn't have done that,
100%.
or I shouldn't have said that, and you regret it.
Yeah, so what is yours right now? You don't have to use your name if you don't want to. 855-33-WAY-FM. It's confession session, 855-33-WAY-FM. That time you were disappointed in yourself for your reaction. So what is your situation, Tanya?
This was something very simple, but it was just last week. You know, school is starting, and I drive this route every day, and there's this school bus that wants to get in front of me, and I zoom on because I'm like, oh my gosh, he's going to be so slow. It's a 2-lane road, and I floored it. And the bus driver, I could tell, was very frustrated because he honked his horn, and it changed my mentality immediately. And I felt so guilty. I wanted to call the school district because I thought, I don't even know if I don't think there were kids in the bus, but just something so simple. And every day I drive that since then, I'm like, I hope to see the bus driver so I can at least wave to say, I'm a good person. I really am. And it's bothered me ever since.
I respect the fact that it bothers you. That's really good. I thought you were going to say, so every day I wear different disguises so they won't recognize me, you know. Well, Tanya, I appreciate you being on the show with us today. Thank you.
Thank you. I feel better.
Oh, good. Good. We served a purpose today.
Yay!
So have you ever been in a situation like that?
When my kids spill something or make a mess, it's just like so frustrating right then. Like, I just said, spill your drink, and you knocked it off the table. Or I just said, walk carefully, and then you spilt your bowl. Or, you know, and I react, but then I'm like, it's just a spill. Just wipe it up. What's the problem?
Because when you step back from it for a second, you're like, okay, it's kids, and they do dumb things, and it's really not that big of a deal. But your reaction and your tone lands with them, and I get it. I get the guilt. I've done that as a parent. I've done that professionally. You and I need to start a support group, honestly.
No kidding.
What was the time that you were kind of disappointed in yourself for your reaction?
Well, this is very fresh, so it's a little bit difficult for me. But my 2 grandchildren had gotten into a disagreement, but one of them was actually arguing with me about something, and I was trying to talk to her about it calmly. And my other granddaughter got mad at her, and she reached across the table and smacked my other granddaughter in the mouth. That was very hard for me. So I had separated them, and I had said to the one granddaughter, I'm done with you. And I was immediately convicted because I thought Jesus would never say that to me. Jesus would never be done with me, no matter what I've done. You know, she's only 14 years old, and I love them so much, I couldn't even believe that I said it.
It's really easy as a parent or a grandparent to say things in the heat of the moment that you don't mean, and you hope that you don't undo your kids, you know, but I think when you do that, because it is going to happen, I think when you do that if you go to them and apologize sincerely and say, look, maybe what you did wasn't right, but how I reacted to it was not good either. And I think kids are receptive to that. My daughter's heard so many apologies, it's not even funny. The Forge is a new movie from the Kendrick brothers, and these are the guys that started off with Fireproof, and they did War Room. And if you love Miss Clara from War Room, you'll be happy because she's back in this movie, The Forge. And I think it's the best Kendrick brothers movie so far, and it hit me in all the feels. I actually even teared up a couple times, Rock.
Well, that's not saying much. Well, why did it hit you?
Well, I think I love stories where guys have their hearts broken for God because, like, I know what it takes to get to that point. You know, and it's not easy for us. And so that kind of resonates with me. And I also love the mom in this story and how she has no other option than to pray for her child. And you see her gratitude when God starts working in his life and turning him around.
It's a modern movie, but there is a sword.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Well, you know, there's a sword. There's like it's a guy movie kind of. Well, it's not a guy movie, but it's a movie about guys. And so they're like doing discipleship and trying to bring each other along. And so you got to have a sword in that to dub somebody a man kind of thing. And so they do that because the guy takes this young kid under his wing and gives him a chance and shows him how to become a man. And you need a sword for a ceremony. And so I really did dig it.
If you want to check out The Forge with your family, especially your sons, it'll be in theaters August 23rd. For more on The Forge, visit theforgemovie.com.
While we wouldn't suggest taking everything you hear here as gospel truth,
We are all witnesses. Testify.
we try our best to get it right. It's news-ish on The Wally Show.
I've seen a little bit about like the birth order book that says, you know, the characteristics or traits of the firstborn, the middle, the last, and all that other stuff. I find it interesting because a lot of that stuff is on point. And I came across this thing where people were Googling the top questions about birth order. Like, you know, why is the oldest child usually the shortest? Which I didn't even know there was a correlation to that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Would that be true in your family?
I don't think so. I think my sister Wendy's taller than me. I think so. And Jenny is too. Becky's not. Jimmy is. I'm like the second. Yeah, I'm short. Thanks for that. Why is the middle child always hated? I don't think that's true at all.
Well,
we need attention. I'm a middle child. We need attention.
Yeah. I don't think they're hated. That's
Yeah.
a strong term, but maybe tolerated.
Why is the youngest child always the favorite?
Because they're the baby.
Yeah, and by that time they know they're not having any more kids, and then
spoil them.
Yeah, spoil them, and honestly, they're done parenting at that point. But it went into questions about an only child, and I was like, oh, hey, I know an only child. One Miss Betty Rock. Her parents got it right the first time. No more kids. Yeah. I'm curious. I want you to address these things that people were Googling about only children, okay? Why are only children weird?
Weird.
Yeah, that was one of the questions that they asked.
I don't know if people would say that about me.
Sure.
But I would say that maybe only children come across as weird because they had to be their own playmates.
Yes, exactly.
So they had to entertain themselves. They didn't have a sibling to, balance off of.
Yeah.
And so they just did their own thing.
Makes you different. Actually, a lot of only children are really good around adults.
Yeah, they are.
I have an only child as well, and she's really good around adults. She actually fits in better with adults.
Yeah, and I would say the same for myself, too. Also, too, you just get used to your own company, and I don't think a lot of people are used to just their own company.
All right, why are only children so sensitive?
Because mom and dad says we're perfect, and we can't do wrong. That's the reason.
And you don't have siblings that are like, keeping you in check.
Yeah,
because
beating you over the head and bullying you.
Yeah, they're good at that. Like if you start to get out of line, your siblings will bring you back into accord. And why are only children spoiled?
Because we're perfect, and why not spoil a perfect angel? I mean, the question answers itself.
For sure. The only thing that kept your parents from spoiling you was money. Like
honestly,
had they had a bunch of that, I know they would have spoiled you.
Come out, come out, come out, you pretty kitten.
Uplifting Way FM, this is The Wally Show. Betty Rock has two cats. Their names are...
No, go ahead.
Rayford Allen and Buford Beauregard Beans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
what's Rayford's middle name?
Rayford Smack Your Hiney.
It
Allen.
should be. No, Rayford Tater Allen.
Tater, that's it. Okay.
Yep.
So she loves her boys. Okay.
I love them.
But I have contended that Buford was first in the house, and then she got Rayford. And Buford, a little more standoffish.
He is. He just acts like that normal cat. You know, the cat that's kind of standoffish. He'll come to you when he wants to come to you. But let me tell you, Rayford Allen is the complete opposite. He's more like a puppy. He follows me everywhere I go, wants to be held, wants to be cuddled, purrs all the time. It's just the sweetest thing.
And so there was a time where Betty Rock said, I love them equally. I do. I love my boys. I love both my boys. And I kept saying, I don't believe you. I do not believe you. I know you love them, but you do have a favorite. And recently, she finally admitted that her favorite, the radio's not on in your house, is it?
No, thank goodness.
Okay. Because I don't want to hurt Buford like this.
I know.
But it is Rayford is her favorite.
Rayford Allen is my favorite.
I know.
And I think Buford Beans, this is how I've come to be okay with it. I think Buford Beans wants it to be that way.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, I think he's a teenager, and he's just, he's like, let Rayford be the favorite because I just don't want to be held and cuddled and loved on. But Rayford's like, what's the favorite? I don't know. My name is Rayford Allen.
So here's what I want to talk about with you. You know that trend of tell me you are this without telling me you're this, okay? I want to do this with you as an adult with, thinking back to your childhood. Tell me you're the favorite without telling me you're the favorite, okay? Yeah. Does Rayford get special treatment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's so cute.
I know.
So in that instance, I would say, tell me you're the favorite without telling me you're the favorite. With Rayford could say it. He would say, I get any toy I want. Mm-hmm. And that would make him the favorite.
Absolutely.
Because he does. He gets any treat that he wants. Any toy he wants, I'm in.
Do you ever bring something home only for Rayford, like you purchase at the pet store?
I can't go that far.
Okay, yeah.
I have to say, share with your brother.
Okay. Don't really. Mama's not going to get mad at you.
Stop it.
He's not going to get mad at you.
I love Buford.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Rayford, if you happen to leave the door open, I'm not going to get mad. All right, so tell me you're the favorite in your family without telling me you're the favorite. Because you can't say it out loud with your siblings.
Right.
Because you don't want to hurt feelings, but...
But there's
wink,
little
wink.
ways that you can tell from your parents or your grandparents whether you're the favorite or not.
All right, so let's do this. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. Tell me you're the favorite child without telling me you're the favorite child. So how would you do this in your family situation there?
I had 2 cars before the age of 18.
Wow, that is crazy. Did you wreck one and they bought you another one, or what happened?
I did. I had gotten my first car, and I had gotten into a T-bone accident. Somebody had ran a red light and went in front of me, and I hit them. Yeah, my car was totaled out, and my mom actually got me another vehicle. Mm-hmm. She was like, you can't be walking around, and I was like, I know.
That's so funny, because like my dad was going to try to help my sister buy a car, and I had a Trans Am at the time that something was wrong with it, like the alternator or whatever, and I did not get a new car. He gave me a battery to leave in the car so that I could jump my own car off when I needed to. Like, so she was the favorite because she's out there car shopping with Dad, and I got a battery.
Yeah, and see, my sister, she had a Honda Civic hatchback. She didn't get a new car until the engine caught fire while we were on the highway.
And even that, they're like, you know what? Let's get your sister a new car and then give you her car, you know?
But I will tell you now, I mean, as a mom, I have 4 boys and 1 girl, and my boys are fully aware that the princess is definitely Mama's favorite. I had even told them, I said, if it was my choice, all of you would have been girls.
That's so great. How would you do that?
So I can tell you how I know that I'm not the favorite, and I know that my brother, my sibling, is not the favorite either. Our parents absolutely, like 100% have favoritism towards our children. They let our children do things that we never would have gotten to do when we were growing up. And we were just talking the other day about how unfair it is that our kids just have to show up at grandma's house and they get a cookie. Mm-hmm. We have to clean the whole house to get a cookie.
But here's the big question for you, okay? You know, because I'm curious if you or your brother are the favorite. Whose kids do the grandparents treat more or treat better? Because that'll tell you.
Mine.
See, yeah. Sorry, bro, you're out of luck. Steph is the favorite.
Yeah.
Well, Steph, I love it. That's a great one. Thanks for being on the show with us.
Yes, have a great day.
4 Eyes. That's what they called me when I was a kid. I've had glasses since I was young.
Me
and
too.
I got used to it. Yeah, you got contacts though.
Yeah, in
and-
junior high.
Yeah, I could never stick my finger in my eye. I tried it. I didn't like it. And so I'm like, I'll just deal with glasses. And so I went and kind of on a whim, my glasses got damaged. So I'm like, okay, I need to get new glasses. So I went out one day. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get my prescription. I'll look a little. And before I knew it, I was at the glasses shop. And they were great to work with, and I got 3 options. And so I decided to take a picture and say, okay, let me take a picture of each of these because I can't trust myself to make this decision. And and my wife has her opinions, and so I wanted to throw it out to people. So Betty Rock, you posted the choices.
Yes, and you can actually see these choices when you text the word glasses to 91979. That's glasses to 91979. We have 3 options, like Wally said. So option 1 is the Chris Pine.
Yeah. I tried to find celebrities wearing glasses that were similar to me, and really, I thought this would be fun for the glasses. All it did, though, was destroy my self-esteem.
All right, so when it comes to option 1, the Chris Pine, these are some of the reactions. Ruby said, "You look pretentious."
What?
Naomi, Kate, she's an optician.
Optometrist or optician? Okay.
Yeah, she said, "Whoa, too big."
Really?
Okay. And then Naomi said, "It's either definitely it or Yikes City."
Okay. All right. I'm
So now-
assuming like Yikes City.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Let's go to option 2. Option 2 is the Josh Wilson. So this is a clear frame.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty good.
Okay.
Gary said...
Wait, can I just stop you for a second? The fact that Betty Rock just said, and it looks pretty good, is the nicest thing she's ever said to me.
They would have been my option.
That would have been your choice?
If I had to choose,
Okay.
between those 3, I would choose the clear
Because
ones.
Christian artist Josh Wilson rocks those, and
Yeah.
I guess I do look kind of similar to him. I'm just an older,
Well-
broke-down version of him.
Gary commented on these. He said, "These look like safety goggles." Dave said this one, "It's not normal. Like you aren't normal," which I like.
Which is perfect.
It's refreshing. Teresa said, "My 11-year-old says these slay and they're preppy."
What? They slay? I got a sleigh?
Yeah. And then Summer said, "The clear frames make your eyes stand out best. Good frame shape for your face, too."
That is so nice.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Now
where are
we come
going?
to the last option.
Yes.
It's the Robert Downey Jr. option. And Becky said, "Keep on shopping, Wally." Cindy
so
said,
great.
"Definitely not this one." Ruby said, "It gives creepy vibes."
Really? And all they are is just round Nike black glasses.
Kate said, "This shouldn't even be an option."
Really?
Naomi said, "This is no one's favorite."
I love people's comments. I really do.
And then Leanne said, "It makes you look like you. Loud, outspoken, full of personality, love, and truth."
Nice. So we ended with one good one there. Okay.
Yeah, I would say out of looking at all of them,
Yeah.
it seemed like option 2 was most people's favorite,
Yeah.
then option 1.
Okay.
Then number 3 should have been no one's option.
Okay. And so you also went with option 2.
The clear ones.
My
The
wife
Josh Wilson.
liked option 2.
Oh,
The
okay.
Josh Wilson. And I ended up going with option 3.
No!
No, you're hideous.
Oh.
No, I went with option 2.
You did?
I did.
Well done.
I picked the one that both you and my wife, without telling me or without knowing, liked. So there
That's
you go.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you can actually see these options, the Chris Pine, the Josh Wilson, and the Robert Downey Jr. when you text the word glasses to 91979 and leave a comment. Let us know what you think.
please,
I
that's
mean,
fun.
it can't hurt. He's already been hurt. That's glasses to 91979. Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.
Uplifting Way FM. This is The Rock Report with Betty Rock.
It's my belief, my personal belief, that when the first season of the reality show Survivor hit the TV screens, they created an addiction for the general public to need more reality shows.
Absolutely. They're interesting to watch. I love the human nature aspect of it. They're cheaper to produce than scripted shows.
Yep.
And so that's why and they work, so that's why
Yeah.
stations gravitate towards
Well,
them.
now every show seems to carry the reality label, and not every one of them are winners. You take, for instance, Jersey Shore, Flavor of Love,
train wreck.
all the Housewives spinoffs.
Anybody that was like, hey, let's get Flava Flav to host a show. This is a good idea, right?
No. But when it comes to the best reality shows, the people have voted, and we have the results. And you're going to be happy with them.
Oh, really?
think,
I bet they're
Wally.
all shows I watch.
Probably. Making it to the top 5 at number 5 is one of Wally's favorites, TLC's 90 Day Fiancé.
Yes, Michael,
Mr. Williams.
The 90 Day Fiancé franchise they're very smart about it. You are never without a version of it. Like, there's 90 Day the other way. There's 90 Day this, 90 Day that. So right now we're in a current season. Well, we just wrapped up with 90 Day 2-hour show on Sunday night.
Oh, good grief.
And then the 90 Day the other way is on Mondays, a 1-hour show. And so,
ridiculous.
And there's another one starting soon. So it's like you're never without it.
Well, coming in at number 4 was MTV's Catfish, where they go
that's
around and
interesting.
they find the people that are catfishing other people. ABC's Family Feud is at number 3.
That's not a reality show.
That's what they
That's a
called
game
it.
show.
That's what they
Come
called it.
on. I saw a thing the other day that called The Bear on Hulu a comedy show. The Bear is anything but a comedy show.
Isn't it really stressful?
Yes, it's not a comedy show.
Coming in at number 2, ABC's American Idol. It's still at the top.
Yeah, I guess
Ryan
it's a reality
Seacrest,
show.
I think he can take the full brunt and say, I made this show what it is because of my chiseled jawline, because of my highlighted hair.
He's barely there. He's barely in it anymore.
And I just egg it on because Wally can't stand Ryan.
Yep.
And then finally, coming in at number 1, do you have a guess, Wally?
I would have thought Survivor, which would be the quintessential reality competition show. Is
no,
it?
it is not. Coming in at number 1, it's on NBC, and it is America's Got Talent.
Oh.
Coming in at number 1.
That show, again, that's I don't see
It's
that
a
as a reality
reality
show. I see that as a contest. I see American
I
Idol.
think the term reality has become loose.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when you start seeing where they have dubbed it and made it what it is, look at The Bachelor. The Bachelor is considered reality TV, but that is so highly produced, it's ridiculous.
Well, like Amazing Race to me is a reality show, and I love that show. I love travel, so I like seeing that. We actually see stuff and like, we go there. We're going to Iceland. We had seen it one time years ago, and we're like, all right, let's go. Now's the time, kind of thing.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I don't think, how like they do the confessionals where they talk to the camera, they cut those interstitials away. That all started from MTV doing a show called, not Road Rules.
Don't act like you
No,
don't know.
I do. No, I do know. I can't remember. What? Whoa! It was the one with Puck. They all lived in a house.
Big Brother.
No!
I don't
nuts!
know.
This is going to drive me nuts. But anyway, that style of shooting a reality show started there. The Real World is what it was called. The Real World.
Oh, thank goodness. He got it, guys.
I'll sleep tonight. They started there, and then everybody adopted that, and that's become that style of shooting for reality shows. So if it doesn't have that, it's not a reality show, in my opinion. Doesn't matter how big you get as a celebrity, failure is always an option, So Kevin Costner kind of experienced a little bit of this. It's the Wally Show on Uplifting Way FM. Are you familiar with his movie that he put out, Horizon?
No.
Okay, so he puts out this Western movie. It's kind of like the coming of America, how it came to be. And he puts it out, but he's doing it like in a series of 4 movies. And so the first one came out, and then the second one was supposed to be out in August or something like that. And I guess they postponed it because the first one did not do as well as they thought it was going to do.
Uh-oh.
And so we might not ever know what happened at the end.
Oh, they just left it at a cliffhanger?
Because it was kind of a quadruply, like a trilogy. It was supposed to be like
I like quadruply better.
Thank you. It would pick up where each story left off and keep moving forward,
Okay.
And so Costner, though, wasn't fazed at all by the bombing of Horizon. He said, quote, "I know this movie is going to play for the next 50 years, and I'm really proud of it. So he's happy with the work that he did. I saw it. There were parts of it I liked. I mean, it wasn't my favorite thing, but I didn't hate it. It was enough that I'm like, oh, I'm curious where it goes. I'll watch the second one.
Okay, that's good enough.
Yeah, and so...
and you're always going for good enough.
Exactly. With entertainment, when you have like the A-list, so you get to see like 3 movies a week, your bar lowers because it's not costing you $40 every time you go.
Right, you didn't nap, so it's a good movie.
Yeah, and so, but here's what I want to talk about, though. I like how he found the good in the bad. Kevin Costner found his own silver lining, because sometimes people have to do that for you. You're like, this is so bad. And they go, hey, have you thought of this? You know? And so this is what we want to do with you, though. When was a time, like Kevin Costner, you had to find your own silver lining to something that happened in your life? Could be silly, could be serious, whatever it is for you, but you kind of evaluated the situation and you found some good inside of that where maybe it was challenging to do so. And that's what Costner did. So 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. And we'll take yours right now. So what is your silver lining, girl?
Well, I have 2 of them. In April, my mother was diagnosed with pneumonia, and in the process of that diagnosis, they discovered she had a problem with her heart, which we're in the process of getting corrections made. 2 months ago, my dad was diagnosed with pneumonia, and in the process of diagnosing that, they found out that he has stage 3 lung cancer.
Oh, wow. That is a lot. But is it treatable since it's stage 3? Is there a good prognosis?
Yes. And so in both cases, had they not had pneumonia, we would never have known what was going on until it was too late.
See, there you go. You found your silver lining. What seems really bad in the moment can actually be something that is really good long term.
Absolutely. I've never been so thankful that my parents had pneumonia in my life.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great perspective. Hey, we appreciate you being on the show with us today. Thank you.
Thank you. Love what y'all do.
Tabitha, she said that recently her and her husband dealt with infertility. She said, infertility grew my faith exponentially. So I guess that was a silver lining for her, that it grew her faith.
Because that's what happens a lot of times when you go through something really hard. Like a lot of times I find that you don't grow as much in the good times because you tend to kind of do your own thing and God's over here and you're like, hey, I'm over here doing this. But boy, when you hit those hard times, you feel his presence in your life. You feel him, you know, and your faith and your reliance on him grows.
Yeah, she said, it truly made me believe the phrase, and if not, he is still good, which is a great lesson that we all need to learn. But sadly, we do learn those things in the rough times.
Oh, for
not
sure.
the good times.
I mean, being able to say that God is good when things are bad is a next step, like in your faith, because it's not easy to do. Because sometimes we look at God circumstantially. Our circumstances basically determine who God is to us.
Yes.
You know, and I love that we play songs like Even If by Mercy Me, because they're a great reminder that that's not accurate. You know, that God is still good even in the midst of our bads. And if this is something that you've dealt with or somebody that you know kind of deals with this, here's a little piece of a song I think that's really good that you could share with them. It's Even If by Mercy Me.
And now for some good news.
Uplifting Away FM. This is the Wally Show, and that is what we try to do, is uplift you a little bit with some good news. Giddy up, because that was a weird word. Because regular news can be a bit of a bummer, and so we like to find some good stuff like this one. There's a prison in Ohio that hosted its first 5-course meal served by members from the prison to the public, and I love this. It's roasted salmon with a béarnaise sauce, braised garden greens, roasted lamb with tomato, a corn cake dessert with blueberry compote and chantilly cream. That is hoity-toity.
Yeah, it is.
It's fine dining. So why would you do that? Because you know in prison they're not eating like that. Well, it's part of a 6-month program to prepare inmates to work in fine dining restaurants someday when they get out. I love this
Mm-hmm.
because I have a prison story in my own family, and when you get out, you are completely hosed most times,
Mm-hmm.
unless something intervenes. That's why you have such big recidivism. And so I love the fact that you are giving people a job and a skill that they can go get a job and they can work and then maybe break that cycle that they were in. They are doing this in 652 prisons and jails around the country, and I love it. Nicely done. Betty Rock, good news, giddy up, go.
A 24-year-old guy in the UK found a reason to lose 230 pounds. He did it to help his sister get a new kidney. So at the beginning, he was 437 pounds.
Wow.
Woo. But when he found out his sister needed a kidney, he wanted to donate one of his, but they told him he was just too heavy to donate. So he changed his diet, started exercising, and got down to 204 pounds.
That's impressive. They both win, honestly.
Right. Well, it turns out he was not a match for his sister.
Okay, now wait a second. Hold on. That would have been my first question. Before I go through all of that, I would have said, okay, let's test me and make sure I'm a match. But his optimism is great, and it paid off for him, too.
Well, now he can donate to someone else who might be in need of a kidney.
Because they will do this. They'll find somebody that needs a kidney, and there's like a donor swap thing I've heard about. So that's kind of cool, like a swap meet for kidneys.
A swap meet for kidneys. I'm sure there's a more technical term for it, but for now we'll call it a swap meet.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll get to this point on Facebook Marketplace where we can do this one day. That'd be great. You know what?
Looking for a kidney?
Yeah, and I guarantee you,
Porch pickup.
I could post a kidney on Facebook Marketplace in perfect condition. We'll solve somebody's problem
for a great price.
I'm going to list it for free, and you can have it if you'll just come pick it up today. I guarantee you, the first 5 people that message me will not show up.
Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes as well as connect with us on social media. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online for supporting what we do.